Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, last show of the year. I'm sorry about that, but we're going to take a little break over Christmas and January while you watch the cricket, the tennis and whatever else will probably get shut down because of COVID or whatever. But anyway, you'll be able to watch the repeats of us every Tuesday night. But we're here tonight wishing you all a Merry Christmas and also a very Merry Christmas to Adam, Cara, Nikki. You're all in here
the
tonight.
whole crew.
Oh, we're all in, thank you.
Yeah. Big show. Going to talk about some of the most memorable moments of 2021. Why are you all laughing about Cara's?
Because there's one that sticks out.
The memorable. we might be able to show that. But memorable moments, also a story, from each of you, if we can, about some holiday fishing, stories and the things you do, and it's going to be a good show. I might kick it off quickly.
Yes.
I went to Narooma for 25 years straight, and the thing I loved about Narooma, we used to camp down on the campground on the flat, and down on the flat there's two holes, if you like. I used to just call them the hole, and at low tide, them, Ads.
Yep.
It was a sandbank for probably 150, 200 metres, and then just a hole, and all the fish would be trapped in there. And many people watching the show would know a guy called Dougie Bauer. Well, back in the day, his name was Douglas Bauer, and he was about 7 years old. And he come and introduced himself to me one day, and we were on KC Radio back then, doing a radio show. And anyway, over the years, he went every year with his family, and I went every year, with the family. And we developed we do a whiting comp, And the thing is, I don't know if Dougie really knew, but like when he was about 9 and 10, I had a comp with him because I knew I could beat him. When he got to about 12, he used to beat me. But we used to go out to the hole, and you just cast a bash yabby in amongst the seaweed, and that was just a memorable moment.
Yeah.
Every year, Dougie and I had that little thing, and Dougie's I think about 20 odd now, and
and now
gone to Queensland or something. He's a marine mechanic, and
basically, what is he? Decky a game boat for X amount of months. But he's a marine mechanic. He does everything. Yeah,
but he started with those little whiting in the room anyway. So, big show tonight, as I said. Lots of catch of the weeks, and the snapper are out again, which isn't that good to see. I mean, the warm water. We're going to talk about the warm water, but so good up your end, Nikki. It's
firing,
the northern
isn't it?
end of the bay is just it's the warmest part of the bay, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Native fish, Cara.
Oh yeah, they're going to be good this season.
Yeah.
Make great summer for natives, I think.
Do some of the what's the town you go to again?
Bridgewater.
Bridgewater.
Yep, it's on a lot.
Do you get that much boat traffic over Christmas that the fish shut down, or are they okay?
No, they don't tend to. Bridgewater itself has a ski run, and so they're quite used to having that activity.
Yeah.
But then further down, it is a quiet area. It's a real undiscovered sort of area.
Yeah.
So I think, there's always good fishing.
Yeah.
It better be. She's invited me to go with us.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. Nikki, she's getting a cod, so it's happening.
Yeah. And yellowbelly's still firing?
I think they're really hitting off now. I think the weather's warming up, and it's been a real delayed season for them. So
it's funny. We've still selling a lot of yabbies in the shop, and everyone that comes in for a dozen or 7 dozen yabbies, we sort of say, "How you going?" They're saying, "Oh, we're only catching 1 or 2."
Yeah,
that's in Lake Eel. They all go to Bonnie Doon, but it seems to be a little bit tough up there this year.
Yeah, I think you can probably. I guess it would be your snapper season in sort of, you know what I mean? It's still a freshwater schooling fish, very reliant on water temperature. It's been low like it has in the saltwater, but Port Phillip Bay's really kicked off, Dave. The snapper going really well. Western Port's still a little bit tough, but I think, the freshwater scene's going to be fairly similar. It's going to be an extended or later season, and we'll see that school at Yellowbelly really start to fire up.
All right, folks, let's have a look at some of these fish. Let's have a look at what's being caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
And let's kick it off. Debbie Sadlier writes to us, "Hi guys, caught a decent sized King George whiting, went 600 grams off Cleland Bite on the weekend, then another smaller one, much to my husband David's annoyance, as his whiting he caught was 586 grams, 14 grams up. Now, look at that.
That's a big whiting.
That is a nice
Yeah,
whiting.
that's a cracking whiting, nice and fat, nice and long, and lip grips. The whiting, eh?
Yeah, that's when you know they're big. When you can fit lip grips in their mouth, they're big.
They're doing all right. Thanks, Debbie, for that. Appreciate that. And I'm sure the competition's on between you and your husband. We've mentioned Lysart's has been a really hot spot for snapper in Westerport. If you're going to catch one in Westerport, have a look at this. Andrew Wood, 7.5 kilos.
Oh, that's a good fish.
Yeah,
Lovely
very nice.
fish.
That's a real good fish.
Yeah.
Been a bit few and far between at that size during Western Port, and the numbers have kicked up a little bit, but it's still a bit hard.
The charter guys out of Patterson Lakes, I don't know if you follow them on social media, but they're just absolutely doing it. But let's start off in Frankston. Chris got a lovely 4.8 kilo.
Nice.
I think that was his first fish of the season too, so well done,
Oh,
Chris.
very good.
It's a lovely fish. Caram, people are just going out the front now.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to go anywhere else, they're just driving out Patterson River, straight out the front, 16, 17 metres. Tom Caney, lovely 6.5 kilo out the front there.
Good fish.
That's a nice fish too.
It is a great fish. It's starting to get
look at
that big head about it too, that fish.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have a look at Rich McLean's catch. It's as good as Carr as any day. Right, two of them.
Slightly better, I think.
Wait till we see the replay. I don't know. Yours is a classic catch. All right, this was caught actually, I think, last Tuesday, and we didn't sneak it onto last week's show in time, but David Gray sent it into the show. A 9.3 kilo caught on Sharkman fishing charters.
A big fish.
That's a big fish.
And when you can't get your hand around the tail wrist of the fish, you know it's a good
He's got a big
snapper.
hand too.
Yeah, you
so,
know it's a good snapper.
Yeah.
So Karam's it, hey?
Yeah.
Carrum
nice.
just seems to be the spot. Even though we're saying the northern end of the bay has been pretty good. I don't think they send us their photos.
No.
Don't want to.
You've got on the Karam boat ramp.
So. But anyway, all right, Ryan Tate, have a look at this one. Lovely snapper out of Carrum
there
as
we
well.
go
Oh,
again.
good fish. Yeah, the colour on it.
Good
Yeah,
looking
nice
fish,
brown
isn't it?
colour on that.
Yeah.
Very Christmassy.
All right, let's head down to Gippsland, and this man, he's a reporter on Talking Fishing on 3MP.
Yep.
And he is learning how to catch rock flathead on soft plastics. And have a look at that. That one went 56 centimetres. Thank you very much.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we put the challenge out to him, Dave, to work out how to catch these things because they're one of the best eating fish ever, but can be quite elusive to catch. So if anyone's going to work it out, it's going to be Brett, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Soft plastic
So
too.
yeah, what was that? Like a pink
Pink
paddle
grub.
tail or something?
Yeah,
Grub?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
pink
yep.
grub. Brett's pretty notorious for just.
People say you
Drop and
can't
grub.
catch rock flathead on a hook.
Yeah,
But
they're
He
such
got
an
3 that day.
yeah, such
Oh,
an
that's
interesting
awesome.
species. They really are. There's going to be more to come on the old rock flathead in the coming years, I think,
Absolutely.
Dave.
Yeah. We're going to get people hooked on them. Have a look at this one. Lovely, again, out of Port Albert, a lovely school shark by Neil Archbold. Well done,
very
Neil.
nice.
That's a good fish.
I've never caught a school shark.
Yeah, I've got tiny ones, but never a decent
Yeah.
one. They're such a good looking fish. They're a fish like the gummy shark. You know, some fish when they get old, they start looking a little bit average.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
shark never looks average when
No.
it gets older.
It's always scary looking.
I tell you what, this is a great sign for people heading to Gippsland Lakes for the Christmas holidays. Offshore with far out fishing charters, I think it is down there.
I think it is, yeah.
Brett Gardner headed out with them and
Oh, it's
had a
good bag.
catch on the reefs outside of Lakes Entrance.
Yeah, real good fish.
How good is that?
Real good fish.
Love the pelicans that come in there too.
Yeah, you can
Like
see 'em
it's just the
eyeing it
atmosphere
off.
of Lakes Entrance, isn't it? Isn't
it's
it?
a
You know,
beautiful
that
place.
holiday period and just so
They'd be
good.
ready there
They-
snatching a few frames.
Now, this time of year, Lakes Entrance, you get the kingfish come in. They're always near the Walkway Bridge. You've got the King George whiting.
Yep.
Like just an amazing place down there.
Lakes is going to be, well, if not already back on the map, and solely off the back of the King George whiting emergence there, which they haven't had proper whiting seasons for quite a while. Last year was an absolute bumper, and it looks like it's going to be better again this year.
Yeah.
That is bread and butter for any holiday maker. When you can sit off the beach or sit off the jetty and
100%.
the kids can get stuck into a few whiting,
Yep.
nothing better.
Yeah. If you'd like to send in your pick of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your your fishing pig to info@ifish.com.au.
Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
And coming up next, fisheries news, and we take a look at Cara and Nikki's best moment for 2021. Gonna be good from Cara. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. A little bit of news before we get into some of the momentous occasions that happened in 2021. The first one, the headline reads, Warneet boaters to benefit from finalised precinct plan. The Andrews Labor government has provided a clear future vision for boating facilities at Warneet with the release of the Warneet Boating Precinct Plan. And I tell you what, this is so much needed. The plan was developed alongside Better Boating Victoria, outlining how to best manage Warneet's boating, foreshore and local port facilities as part of the government's ongoing investment into recreational boating. 2 rounds of community consultation confirmed the key priorities initially identified by the local community and informed the development of the Warneet Boating Precinct Plan. Feedback during both consultation rounds included replacing the ageing jetties at the north and south sites because they've actually been closed for, I don't know, maybe 2 years, I reckon, Ads. We might have had that on the show.
Yeah, sounds like something we'd report on.
So at least that's getting fixed as part of this plan. New public toilet facilities and an upgraded boat ramp and car park at Warneet South. The final plan outlined concept designs addressing these and other infrastructure priorities. The plan comes as the government continues making boating more accessible for all Victorians with its $33 million Better Boating Fund, a promise at the 2018 election to ensure all money from licence fees, that's your boat licence fees, and recreational vessel registrations is reinvested into boating infrastructure and programs. The government's also made it free to park and launch at Victorian Boat Ramps and has embarked on the most significant boat ramp construction program in the state's history. So, so much needed at Warneet, and it's one of those places that when the tide goes out, you can't launch your boat or retrieve it. So you've got to fish around the tides, and it's a little sleepy village, isn't it?
Yeah,
Little
it is.
Sleepy fishing village.
It's so insanely popular though. It fills up really quick. So that's
access to some great snapper and whiting grounds
Definitely,
just
outside
out
the
of the channel. So
If you can get there.
Yeah, that's right, and that's the frustration.
Yeah.
And then the jetties, because it's actually not a bad land-based.
That's right.
place either,
Yeah,
you know?
it's a bit
And the jetties have been, fenced off as they do. All right, the next one. This car. Where's the list? All right, so actually, I don't
It's
know.
not Santa's list, it's
No.
Cara's
No,
list.
it's Cara's cooking list,
I'm going
which
to have to ask Santa to
so far
fill
has
it.
pike, octopus, bream, chinook salmon, zebrafish, bronze whaler, yakkers, barber perch, and rock lobster on it. We're going to add
It's a daunting list.
oysters.
Getting really...
You haven't done
I've
oysters
done
yet?
oysters.
Oh, you've
Tick
done
that off.
okay.
Well, you can
As if-
add it and tick
As
it.
if I can remember that. All right, this is an exciting headline here. Have your say on Gippsland Lakes oyster trial.
Oh,
People
yes, please.
who live, work and play in the Gippsland Lakes are being encouraged to complete a short online survey to share their views on the native oyster aquaculture trial set to commence next year. VFA CEO Travis Dowling said the trial to grow Sydney Rock and Angassi oysters,
Ooh, they're the
both
big
of
ones,
which
aren't
are
they?
abundant. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the giant ones.
Have you ever eaten them?
No, but it's on the list. We can put them on the list.
They're both abundant and native to the Gippsland Lake system. This could see Victorian-grown Sydney Rock oysters back on the menu for seafood consumers, which would be a huge win for the state. The trial will assess the viability, growth rates and eating qualities of the two species at 5 sites around Flanagan's and Rigby's Islands, west of Lake's entrance. Existing aquaculture, interstate is worth more than $100 million.
Wow.
So if the trial is successful and permanent oyster farming becomes established, it could lead to significant economic prosperity for towns around the Gippsland Lakes. Oyster aquaculture isn't new to Victoria. With Angassi oysters, they're already grown by several licensed farmers closer to Melbourne in Port Phillip and Western Port at the mussel grounds. Mr. Dowling said the online survey contains only 9 questions and should take less than 2 minutes to complete. So get onto the VFA's website, look out for the oyster survey, get on it. 9 questions, 2 minutes worth getting onto. Lucky last before we end the news, water temp. I think we've got the graph here. Have a look at this.
Gosh.
It's on the way up. You can see that dip just into December there though, where it actually dropped down nearly 2 degrees.
Yeah, it's.
But it's fired the snapper up.
Yeah.
Now, some parts of the bay are just nudging 19, well, the northern end of the bay is 19.5. People are on warm days getting warm patches and they're finding those high 19s. Hasn't hit 20 anywhere yet though.
Really?
According to the graph, it hasn't.
Surely today was a nice warm day.
Did you compare last year's to this year's?
Last year was a lot warmer. It was 1 or 2 degrees warmer. And you can see it only peaks at 21 degrees in February. So, yeah, interesting. And the other years have been 22, 23. So,
At this time of year.
well, no, as a record. So, I think this is it La Nina. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
La Nina.
La Nina.
Is making things a little bit colder than it normally would be. So, anyway, we said we'd talk about some of the greatest
highlights.
things that have happened in 2021. Cara, let's start with you. What do you think is the best thing
I
for
think
talking fishing?
The show taking out one of the TV Antenna Awards was pretty special.
Of course, I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, because we couldn't actually go to a ceremony this year.
no.
Dave.
And
Oh,
it got
that's right.
postponed.
We all had tickets for
Yep.
And new
months
dresses.
and months and months.
Yeah, Dave, you dressed.
Let's have a look at how that came about. The Antenna Awards. Here we go.
And the Antenna Award for the Best Live and Outside Broadcast Program goes to Talking Fishing.
Thank you for having me on Channel 31, by the way. The only network that hasn't sacked me so far. So,
Nice one, eh?
we've got an hour.
There's a few stars that have come from Channel 31, you know.
Who?
Pete Hellier.
As in, who?
All right, guys, got Shane Dunlop here from Channel 31. He's the station manager. Shane, you want to have a chat to everybody?
Yes, thanks, David. I just wanted to take a quick moment to, with all of you here, to congratulate Talking Fishing because you've won the 2021 Antenna Award for Best Live Program. Congratulations.
Oh, wow. How good's that? Thanks, Shane. How good is that, everyone?
Well, look at that.
Kevin, I won't shake everyone's hand, but seriously, this is absolutely fantastic, and we won the 2019, we've won this one, 2021. I really got to thank the crew because, you know, Adam, we just turn up here and talk fishing and that's all we do. But Jack, Heidi, Pat, Darby, Lewis, Kevin, our producer, who does tireless amount of work getting all the graphics, all the videos ready. It is a great team effort, and can I just thank you all because this is your award. It's absolutely fantastic. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll keep talking fishing. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, congratulations, team.
And
What a
thanks
great
to both of you. Cara, your cooking segment, we know how popular that is and people love it, and great contribution to the program. And Nikki, your co-hosting duties this year has been much appreciated.
Oh, thank you. No, we've had a great time on the show.
Yeah, it's been good. Now, Nikki, you've been sitting at home for the last
I have.
7 weeks.
Look, I would normally say the Ashes, but there's been another classic catch that I've seen, and it's been a real highlight, Dave. So I don't know if we've got footage that we can show.
So you're nominating Cara's
definitely
Catch
nominating.
of the Year as the best moment in 2021. Let's
Thanks,
have a look
Nikki.
at this.
No problem.
Victoria, I'm sure, will take out the crowd. You know, so.
Yeah.
You'd hope so. On home turf, Cara's excited.
So you did that on purpose.
Oh, let's prove we have real beers in the studio.
At least it wasn't. It's a good grab.
It is a good grab.
I just tried to play it cool. As if nothing happened.
Please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
What a classic.
So good.
That I reckon the best in is it would have been going 7 and a bit years. It was 7 years in October.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah, but it hadn't until you came.
So, because of that, Dave, let's cheers to the stubby holders.
Cheers.
Yeah, because we can't drink anymore.
We've
So
been banned from having beer, and so many people said to us, we thought you only had water in those stubbies.
Well, now they know.
not that day.
Well, occasionally we did when we were behaving, but not anymore. It just proves that.
We now know why.
Yes.
Nikki, a little story about holidays and.
Not a real funny one, but my sister who never goes fishing, she goes, look, take me out on your boat. So, myself and her went out, and it was a bit daunting being, I was like, yeah, I'll take you out.
Why was that daunting?
Well, I was new to boating and, fairly new in my boat. And I thought, no, I'll take her out. She'll have a ball. She wanted to go squid fishing. So I was like, yep, you can have a jig. I didn't give her my best ones. You never give newbies the best jigs. Anyway, and she goes, oh, I'm snagged. I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to have to break off this jig. And then she goes, oh, no, it's pulsing. And it was this massive cuttlefish.
Wow.
She was wrapped. We had it for dinner.
And you got it up? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just an awesome experience. So I think she'll remember that for a long time. So probably this summer we'll probably get the call up to do it again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where's that out of?
And St. Leonard's, I think we went out of. So
Nice.
it was a good moment, good family moment. So
Ads?
Mine's more based around land-based because it was such an unintentional thing. We were staying in a house down in Paynesville on Newlands Arm.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And we had a little jetty out the back as part of the deal, and we'd fish off there over night time. We had no idea there would be prawns around until we just, you shine. The first thing you do at night time is shine the light in the water.
Yeah.
So we ended up netting a few prawns just in the landing net for whatever we were going to catch, and then caught brim off the top on live prawns. So as soon we'd just send an unweighted prawn out near a pylon, and we couldn't see anything, but we would hear brim just climbing all over these prawns.
Wow.
It was one of the most exciting. I mean, we all lure fish. We all love catching fish off the top, but to not expect to see the bait there. To just use what we had, a dolphin torch and a landing net for the fish, get a few prawns and turn that into fish was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah. Isn't it? I mean, that's a classic story of Gippsland Lakes.
It
brim.
is.
It's the bread and butter fish that, and it struggled for a few years down at Gippsland Lakes, but I think that's coming back with all the rain that we've had. I mean, dusky flathead are going to be a big thing in the Gippsland Lakes in the future, but that brim is just a bread and butter fish, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was such an exciting thing, and it's still the one pier ever. I hate it. Every single stand-up pylon of that jetty had a bloody huntsman on it.
No.
Every single one. For every night.
It's salt water.
Yep.
It
was the worst, but the fishing was so good. I just had to close my eyes and
I
run.
did not need to know that.
Fly spray down.
Yeah, it was no good.
But
the fishing was
can't
good.
have spiders or anything. All right, coming up next, product of the week, and Cara heads into the kitchen next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And we thought we'd end the year for the perfect Christmas gift with the new NexSave spin reel range. These reels retail for under $100, and the features you get, they bat well above their average. I don't even know where to start. They have that many features in them, but from a 1,000 through to a 5,000 size. Now, a 5,000 being a Port Phillip Bay snapper type reel or a cod and yellow belly reel, Cara as well. The 5,000 is new in this price range. Dave, you've been actually trialling the 1,000 for the last, probably couple of months really, on whiting and squid and cuttlefish. And it's still going strong.
It's all my squid rods now, the NexSave 1000. It's just a fantastic value for money. Really.
Well, the NexSave 1000 pulling at 4 kilos max drag and the 5000 moving up then to 11 kilos. they're just a workhorse reel. The neck saves have been around for a little while. They sort of dropped out of the range for a little bit, bought back for 2021, and they are going to be massively popular. We see off the back of the Sienna range that we've spoken about before. Yeah. This gives you that little bit of an upgrade. Dave, I heard a rumour. They have Hagani gearing.
They do have Hagani gearing.
Which means there is now a reel in the range under $100 that will last you a lifetime.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So the Neck-Save spin reel range under $100. The perfect gift for those who are not sure, because let me tell you, as a fisher, you can never have too many reels. So if you're not sure, Dave, even as a quality stocking filler, I don't think you can go wrong with a new Neck-Save.
Yeah, I've always said the 3000's your dusky flathead lake tyres reel, because it goes up. I was just looking at the drag here. So the 2.5, or the 2500, sorry, is a 4 kilo drag. I've got to read the boxes here. The 3000 goes up to 9 kilos of drag.
Really?
So that little 3000 there, 9 kilos of drag.
That's right. Yeah. So it is the body size of a 2500. It holds a tiny little bit more line, but you get the upgraded handle knob on there to give you a little bit more torque straight through the reel, pushing it out to 9 kilos of drag. That now becomes everything that you can use on squid and whiting through to port filler based snapper on plastics,
or big
yellow belly
flathead
on plastics, dusky flathead on lures. It's just,
I don't know if it
Dave, I think you and I have had this discussion numerous times over the season, but you're calling the 3000 the new 2500.
I am. Yeah.
Big call.
Yeah. It's 255 grams, so it weighs nothing. And 91 centimetres, this is the 3000, 91 centimetres of line per wind.
That's what makes it such a good squid reel.
That's a lot.
For those that want a land-based squid fishing reel that goes on an 8'6" casting rod, the 3000's a great option because the handle's a little bit easier to find, but the line pickup is so great. If you work the jigs quite aggressively, you're always in contact knowing what's going on.
That's a lot of line back.
That is.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's the Neck-Save spin reel.
But that 5000's as tough as nails too, Cara.
Oh, it's got some, it's solid.
It's a good
smooth.
reel.
It's nice.
And they're good looking. The cosmetic upgrade that they did this year, that matte black.
They look great.
I say it looks like one of those Mercedes-Benz that flashes past you on the freeway, the matte black colour. They look so good. And anyway, well done. That's a good one. All right, we're going to keep the program moving because we've got a lot coming up. Cara, you've got a special treat this week in the kitchen. Let's have a look at this.
Got a treat for you as well. This week's recipe is a great one if you've been asked to bring something along on Christmas Day, or if you're looking for a fantastic starter or canapé for Christmas lunch. I'm going to show you how to make a really tasty smoked trout mousse. What I love about this recipe is how simple it is to put together. We are going to put all of our ingredients into a blender, mix it, and then it is literally ready to serve. I've got some lovely Goulburn River trout fillets today. We actually smoked these yesterday. So what I will do is just peel off the skin and we're going to pull the flesh away from the bones. Just roughly chop that. That's the first thing to go into our blender. To our smoked trout fillets, I'm going to add some roughly diced red onion. I've also got some lovely capers, and we'll squeeze half a lemon in here too. Add some salt and pepper. And we'll add in some fresh dill and some fresh parsley. Now our next step is to just pulse these in the blender. So we don't want a puree, we want to be very careful that we're still keeping a lot of the texture in the body, but just enough to chop everything so that when we add our creme fraiche and sour cream, it'll come together really lovely. Now this is the consistency that we're after, so we still want to be able to see chunks of our greenery and some of the onion. We're going to now add our sour cream and creme fraiche, and then when we blend, we can get a much smoother consistency if that's what you're after. So I'm going to go equal parts of each, and this will provide a lovely creaminess to our mousse. So we'll pop that back on the blender, and just a couple of seconds on high will be enough to bring this together. Now this consistency is gorgeous. There's still enough texture in there that you're going to get a little crunch and individual flavours in each bite. If you prefer, you can take this further and puree it so it's lovely and smooth. All that's left to do is build our little canapes. Now you can make your canapes as simple or as fancy as you like. A couple of easy suggestion ideas. I've got some lovely fresh baguette, which I've sliced up, and I have piped on some of our mousse, finished with a daub of the creme fraiche and a little dill on top. Okay, our second ones are little bruschetta toasts that purchased at the supermarket. Again, we'll just do a little daub of our mousse. Some beautiful black caviar and a little sprig of parsley. And our final one are these little cucumber boats. So I've sliced baby cukes down the centre, and using a small spoon, we'll just scoop out the flesh, and we will pipe the mousse down the centre. Finish off with a couple of capers, and these are definitely going to be a hit. And here we have our very simple yet very tasty smoked trout mousse canapes. Enjoy.
Let's try it.
Yeah,
Little
we can
Christmas
try one.
Thank
I
you
thought you
very
should
much
get some
for bringing it
tasties
in.
for the last show.
It's going to be good.
That is good. You're going to have to talk now.
Right, so.
That is good.
That's good.
Good?
Tell me you don't just do sausages on the barbie for Christmas Day.
Not at all. I'll be hitting up the Vic Market, I think, this week and get some fresh seafood.
That is so
Yeah,
good.
some fresh, what have we got on there, Dave?
Some zebra fish and...
Yakkers.
Hey, you can taste the dill in this, can't you?
Well, you're supposed to be able to taste all the ingredients, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Get that balance right.
That is just beautiful.
It's a winner.
It's good. Smoked
Fresh.
trout. There you go.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we're going to finish off this. Coming up next, Kramer's Mailbag, and we take a look at Adam and my best moment for 2021 next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsling's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Now that trout mousse was absolutely delicious. If only we were allowed to.
I think there was something
If
to drink
only
with it.
these weren't banned, Cara.
Better match with white wine.
Now you mentioned to Nikki during that break then
Yep.
the fish.
Yeah, it's a stonker one,
With a
you said.
stonker.
So there you
They
go.
call
There's a stonker that you caught.
Yeah, Goulburn River.
Goulburn River. So
Yeah.
they
Wow.
do taste
Delicious.
delicious, we can confirm.
Yeah,
Yeah, how good's
check
that?
You take all their words for it.
All right, mailbag. This one we've been talking about this. I can't remember if we've done it on the show or on the radio. We've certainly covered it on the radio, but this one came up on a Facebook page, and I thought I'd just mention it. Have a look at this. This is a question on the Western Port and Port Phillip Bay Fishing Report page, and the question was: can anyone tell me, am I allowed to use this in Victorian waters? It measures 600 metres in diameter, 300 mil high, and the opening is 160 millimetres. We need to make them legal in Victoria.
100%.
Even if it's one pot per person,
Yep.
you should be able to go offshore, and you should be able to catch a lobster in a pot rather than have to be a diver.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a good diver, well, it's dangerous, and you've got to be in the ocean waters. And I just think that's something that
a great
Victoria is missing out on. You can do it in Tassie, you can do it in South Australia.
Yep.
Should be allowed to do it in Victoria.
Yeah.
So.
I'm all good.
Good point.
There you go. All right, the next one. Fred writes in. Fred writes, Dave, I understand you're on the board of Snobs Creek, well, so is Cara. But every week you go on about what a great job VFA are doing with their stocking program. Well, they are.
They are doing a great job. Yeah.
But many people like me only fish salt water out of a boat and feel we are really hard done by when it comes to our fishing licence fees. While I'm not opposed to fish stocking, I just want to see a fair share of our licence fees spent on saltwater fishos. As an example, New South Wales have 34 fads spread along their coastline. What do we have? One set off Anglesey. It's time for a change. I'm going to debate this.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that Fred hasn't mentioned is the stocking program, particularly in 2021, included 42,000 dusky flathead for the Gippsland Lakes. Only a couple of years ago, Mulloway into Lake Tyers and Tambourne Inlet, and eastern king prawns on several occasions into Lake Tyers. So there's a bit of saltwater stocking.
But we don't really need to stock that much more saltwater fish. Is he just saying an even amount of funds? Is that what he's getting at?
I reckon too.
But there are plenty of grants that go towards, fishing platforms. St Helens, they've had lighting upgrade. So there are.
The artificial reefs. Now, I don't know if that all comes out of licence money, but on a balance, right, if you looked at what's spent on recreational fishing in Victoria, by far, the most amount of money in the last 8 years at least has been spent on buying commercial nets out of bays and inlets. So we saw, I think it was about $30 million for the Port Phillip Bay buyout, and it was around $8 or $10 million to buy out the Gippsland Lakes netters. So salt water is getting its fair share, and that's why when every week we talk about how good the whiting fishing is, how good the squid fishing is, the garfish when they're on.
Because that fishing's been improved.
Absolutely. Now, that mightn't have come from licence fees, but it came from state government revenue, and I reckon. Sorry, Fred, and I get your point. I really do get your point, but I think saltwater's doing all right in Victoria. Look at this. I mean, you can't see the headline. It's terrible, this. The headline in the local Southern Peninsula News last week was Shark Alert at Summers. Now, who wrote? Jeff wrote this, Jeff from Dramana. This was the headline of an article in the Mornington Peninsula News. The local council member for this area has stated that kayakers and shore-based fishermen are attracting sharks to their area by their methods of fishing. Now, this is the article, right? So I've just got some highlights here. This is incredible. Summers residents fear that people fishing for sharks are endangering swimmers. Baited lines are being carried out to deeper water off the beach by kayaks or dropped by drones. Councillor David Gill said luring sharks towards the swimming beach was a dangerous practice that the public needed to know about. It's of great concern if shark attracting baiting is occurring off Summers Beach. It increases the chances of lives being put in danger, said Councillor Gill. Now, Councillor Gill, where are you? Over here. Never heard anything so ridiculous. If people were burleying, I could say yes. What people are doing is putting one bait out for a gummy shark. And I tell you, they don't have big teeth. That's why they're called gummy sharks. They are getting their baits out so they can do land-based gummy shark fishing. A bait, a single bait, is not for luring sharks in. It's for catching a shark on one bait. It's not burley.
Well, I think the biggest point we're missing is through kayaks and drones, they're taking the bait to where the sharks are, not luring the sharks into 6 inches of water.
I can guarantee they won't want to be fishing anywhere near people.
Yeah.
No.
I vote that Councillor Gill knows nothing about fishing.
Yeah.
There you go. We've got plenty more. I don't know. One more. Hang on. G'day guys and girls. Love your show. Just wondering if you can tell the name of the Mozzie killers that were on your show the other week.
Thermocell.
Thermocell, there you go.
So good.
If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you have to do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Sorry, there was a lot more mailbag to get to because they're yelling at us. Adam, your most memorable occasion of 2021.
Well, I think it's going to be hard to beat Kara's classic catch, but for the second time, we got a little spot on the front bar, Dave. I don't know how we keep getting a mention on this show, but there we are. Surely we've got a bit of video of that.
We have, and it highlights how good Mick Malloy was on our show. Have a look at this.
What happens on Good Friday, culinary-wise for you, Andrew?
Well, the Catholics eat a lot of fish.
Bit of fish?
Yeah, a bit of fish.
Now, speaking of fish, Mick, I asked
Go with the halibut. Try halibut. I'm just saying the halibut's a good fish.
You know a bit about it, do you?
I know a bit about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You love fishing, do you? You're a fisherman. You're an old salty man of the sea.
No, I just...
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm just a pretty good angler.
Well, listen,
been seen down the angling club. For those, having a couple.
For those who are asleep out the front doesn't count, by the way. For those at home who don't know what we're talking about, as if you couldn't trash your fading brand any further, you decided to appear on this show.
Nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome everyone to Talking Fishing. For 3 years. We have been trying to hunt this man down and say that the old bloke is still hosting. Mick Malloy, welcome to Talking Fishing.
Thank you for having me. It's a bit like deja vu here right now. I feel like I think
you said if the set burns down. Well, the set hasn't burned down, but we have dragged you in because...
You haven't aged well, though, I've got to say. Just hanging in there. Get this man a vaccine shot. He's in a high-risk category.
He is, yeah.
Good fishing chat.
What do you do? How are you qualified to be on a fishing show?
Hang on, I went on that show because you may remember, I think one of you two rudely had a crack at the fishing show's set because it looked a lot like ours.
Well, after seeing it again, I can't believe we would have made that observation, by the way.
So a friend of mine, Michael Hibbard, said to me, come on, I know the boys, come on the show, they'd love to see you. And, you know, we just talked fishing, and I have to say, it was engrossing.
Well, if you know so much about fishing, what's harder to catch, a tuna or a rainbow trout?
On the line or with dynamite?
You're an idiot.
I go with dynamite. Generally.
By the way, I didn't know that you love your fishing. I tell you what, you're really enjoying yourself on this show. Have a look at you.
It's a big show because it has been fantastic fishing this week. The yellowtail kingfish have turned up. The water temperature, I reckon, is warm and adds. Plenty of other things in the estuaries and in the regional areas and that.
They come with how many bibs?
They come with 3 bibs in the packet. Am I right? There's a wake bait bib which comes fitted on there. Yep. There is also a paddler bib.
Yep.
And the third one would be a diving bib.
That's a diving bib.
You have to be at one with the sea to understand a lot of what was going on.
That last look was a cry for help if ever I've seen it.
You almost basically looked at your watch.
That was unbelievable.
I called an Uber 10 minutes before the end of the program.
They say any publicity is good publicity. There you go. I'm sure Mick's going to come back one day. I just want to mention, I guess, my most memorable moment, which I reckon probably not the most exciting thing that's happened in the year, but it's something that I wanted to do from is it a political reason? I don't know. It's just an awareness of the commercial fishing sector down at Corner Inlet, and we did something called Talking Fishing Unhooked. Here's a little snippet of what we did during the year.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, a special episode again tonight. We're talking fishing unhooked, and we've got 2 guests in the studio tonight, Luke Anetta and Neville Clark, who are both from Corner Inlet. Welcome to the program, guys.
Cheers, thanks for having us, David.
Here's a couple of beautiful rock flathead. These were caught today, Luke?
Yes, they were caught yesterday, actually. So
now you've proven my theory right too, that they die with their mouths open. Little joke we've got now, we've been debating that, but the mouths are open, whereas other flathead, the mouths are closed.
The mouths are shut.
They're a delicacy, aren't they?
They're a beautiful eating flathead. They're sort of more round, as you can see, and they've got the patches down the side, dark fish. They don't grow sort of as long as some of the others, but they grow wide and really round. But they're a beautiful eating fish.
Yeah.
One of the best eating fish in the sea.
Yeah, they've really come up in the world. Like there's nearly a #1 restaurant quality fish nowadays. They've just sort of, they've always been the same fish, but just the name of rock flathead down in Corner Inlet.
Yeah, it's come to life now. Yeah,
really one of the premium fish down there.
A bit like Coffin Bay oysters.
That's right.
Corner Inlet rock flathead. And if you never saw that episode, look out for it. It'll be replayed over the next 6 weeks. Not every week, but it will be one of the repeats over the next 6 weeks. All right, got to go to a break. Coming up next, the all-important hotspots. They're coming up next on Talking Fishing.
talking fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
All right, let's get into the hotspots. Anyone going down to the Mornington Peninsula or the Bellarine Peninsula will know that all that boat traffic that gets on the water on Port Phillip Bay down in those areas just shuts the fish down sometimes in January and that Christmas period, and all your big boats are out and jet skis are out and all that. Yeah. There's one place that I reckon doesn't change one little bit for King George whiting, and that's the Pinnis Channel. Not hard to get to, just down beside the fort, down beside as the set falls apart. Down beside the fort and down beside Mud Island in Port Phillip. Pinnis Channel, look it up. Great place, and there'll be lots of boats on the whiting there. The snapper, usually it's almost getting too warm for the snapper.
That's right. Not this year.
Not this year. No, people that are staying home because you either can't get your tests done to get because the queues are too long and you've got to stay at home this summer. Get out off Karen. The snapper are hot, and they will be right through to probably end of January.
Yep, head to the deep water, 18 to 20 metres.
Yep, absolutely. Over in Western Port, lots of people get down to Flinders and Crib Point and those sort of places for the holidays. If you are launching around Crib Point, head over to, and even if you're on Phillip Island, McAfee Reef. It's just off the coast of Phillip Island on that western side. It's a great spot for some big King George.
Big King George and massive calamari along there too.
Oh, good.
Yep. All right. Always do that.
Oh, here we
Always
go.
do this time of year. Gets people talking anyway. If you're staying down at Phillip Island or you want to launch from Crib Point or wherever you want to go, have a look at this Pyramid Rock. We're calling it Yellowtail Kingfish.
Yep, there's yakkers and slimies have started to show themselves. If you can get a tank full of slimies, you have to go and look for a kingfish.
Absolutely.
You have to.
Sashimi style.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're heading down Lorne, all those sort of places, head back and launch at Barwon Heads and head out off Barwon Heads because here's another hot spot, kingfish and tuna.
Wow, Barwon Heads.
I tell you what, one of the things that we aren't having a break on, Adam, is 3MP. Talking fishing on 3MP.
That's right.
6 o'clock Saturday mornings. I know it's early, but if you get the 3MP app, you can just listen to it whenever you want. There you go, 6 till 7, but you can listen to it whenever you want if you've got the 3MP app. So lie in bed at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, just hit the app, you can listen to the show. And Zach Cross from Cross Country Fishing Charters, he's fishing Barwon Heads almost every day. You are going to hear firsthand on that show whether the kings and the tuna are there, and we know the tuna are already there.
That's right,
awesome.
Yep, they're already there.
All right, lucky last, Lakes Entrance. I tell you what, you would not have been saying this 2 years ago. Lakes Entrance, King George whiting. If you want to know exactly where they're biting, go and track down Frank Melito at his bait and tackle shop. He's on the back road around
near the boat
North
hire.
Arm.
The cross road for the boat hire.
Yeah. Go and track Frank down because he'll tell you exactly where they are if you're heading down there. All right, that's the hotspots. Cara, holiday story.
Holiday story. Not so much a highlight, but more of a safety reminder with children on boats. A couple of years, was it last year or the year before? I lost track now. We're on the Goulburn River and Ngambia. We'd gone up to Mitchelton Winery. My Christmas present from the family was a lovely massage. So I got off and the kids and hubby have sort of gone up the river, come back and collected me. They've picked up a bottle of bubbles. So we've popped the bubbles, we've got our drinks, picture perfect moment. So I stood up on the back and sort of said to everyone, let's grab a photo. And my son, who would have been maybe 5 or 6 at the time, just put his hand on the throttle.
Oh, no way.
Absolutely took off, and I just got flung backwards in a very dramatic somersault.
Off the boat?
Off the boat, fully clothed, not so relaxed anymore. I just remember thinking how cold the water was and just that immense shock. I had a brand new iPhone 11 in my hand and my champagne glass.
Didn't spill a drop, did you?
I kept the glass.
Unlike
but I lost
talking.
the phone. So I kept that catch.
Yeah.
But I think that was
Was
just...
Dean left on the boat though? Like
Everyone else was on the... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't the kids on their own, it was
Oh.
just me. And my son's face, he was just pale.
Yeah.
And when I got back on, it was just like, just get me back.
Yeah, I'm done.
Don't talk to me, no one look at me.
Yeah.
I dislocated my shoulder, but it took me about half an hour to realise because I was just in shock. It was just that whole...
Yeah.
So
was that trying to hold the wine glass up?
Probably.
Yeah.
It was like, don't
Champagne
drop
glass.
something.
Wow. That is a really, really good safety reminder.
But it is, you know, like, and you know, you don't think, like, you're just sitting where we're idling, kids are sitting on the lap, and you're just having a lovely time, and they're unpredictable. Like, and he didn't even, you know, didn't know what he was doing. He just sort of rested on it, and it just.
No, and that's
took
how
off.
accidents happen. It's an accident. That's why they call them accidents. They're not
correct.
on purpose, you know.
It's a very important lesson to remember.
Every year, Christmas break, we have car accidents, we have drownings, and I know drowning's been a hot
skiing
topic.
Accidents as well. And
Skiing
it's scary.
accidents.
Yeah.
You know, Lake Eildon will be chock-a-block with skiers and jet skis and all that stuff. And it's just it is a reminder to everybody to just, you know, try and keep your wits about you.
Slow down a bit.
Don't drink and drive, and don't take photos with champagne on the back of the boat.
No, don't do that.
Anyway, it's a great reminder. Hey, a couple of things. I just wanted to an update from Don Newman because we get daily updates from Don around the fish cleaning table at Hastings. This was from Don last Wednesday. I found out yesterday afternoon that the galvanising of the steel work has been delayed further. They are now not expecting the steel structure to be delivered into Hastings until early New Year. So the final completion date is expected to be delayed probably in February now. So concrete's all done, no steel from the galvanisers. So, and I won't go through the rest. There's plenty of Mailbag. We'll save that for next year. Can I say a big thank you, Cara and Nikki? Thank you very much for your co-hosting duties, and I'm sure you guys will be back in 2022 helping us out again. But it's great for the WRF network too.
Definitely.
We know that you've got a great following, and the WRF network just continues to grow and grow. And
we appreciate your support too.
Absolutely.
That's good.
But it's great to see women sort of getting out there and getting into it.
Go have a go, and over the summer,
I'm hearing that very, very shortly a WRF network is going to be launched by Dallas De Silva, the head of fisheries in Queensland.
Nice, good.
Good on them. Yeah. They can copy whatever they want, like we did from the front bar. So, Ads, can I thank you? Great year.
Thanks for having me again, Dave. It's been another fun one.
Been a good season. You'll be back. You're leaving Tackle World though.
I am.
When we are back on, you'll have a new job. We'll talk about that in the new year. That's it for Talking Fishing. Hope you enjoyed the show. That's it for 2021, I'm sorry to say. Thanks for all your support. You people give us all the support you can, and you contribute to the show with your pictures and your mailbag and all that. We really love it. Really helps make this program's content. We'll be back in February 2022. So until we see you again next year on Talking Fishing, from all of us, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.